What's going on, guys? It's Kev back with another video, and I'm here to break down this new AI tool that came out yesterday called Claude AI's Computer Use feature. Now, this thing is brand new out the box, so I'm going to basically run you guys through a speed run on why this thing's going to be extremely important, why you have to learn about it. I'm going to give you real life examples, and I'm going to give you examples of why this tool is going to be powerful for my own business as well, and how we're going to implement it. And we're going to be teaching everything that I'm talking about in my school community, so the first 100 people that join that school community are going to get it for life. Without further ado, guys, let's get into this presentation that I have ready for you. All right, so Claude AI, the computer use feature, all right? Absolutely putting OpenAI on their fucking ass, all right? So in this presentation, we're gonna break down what this new API release is all about. I'm also gonna tell you guys the current state of AI and how this is super powerful to get rich in 2025, how this is going to implement into the future of the AI wave, and why it's extremely powerful to learn something that is brand new like this computer use tool right now. It's going to become the most powerful API tool possibly on the planet. So let's dive in. So what is the Claude computer use? Now you guys can read this screen, but I'm also going to freestyle this a bit because I want to put this in as simple of terms as possible. So imagine the cursor that you guys see on my screen right now, this cursor that's moving around. Imagine I don't have to touch that, and all I have to do is tell the AI to use the cursor for me. Right, so it's going to use my cursor, it's going to click on things, it's going to basically run commands that a human being would do, and it communicates with itself with screenshots. Okay, so I'm going to also overlay a video of how this thing actually works in real time. But basically, all it does is after a command gets put in, it'll look at your screen, take a screenshot, then decide what it needs to do, make a click, then take another screenshot, look at the screen, then decide what it needs to do, take another click, and then over that time, you can figure out exactly what are the exact instructions to give it to give an amazing output. Okay, and this is extremely powerful, and we're going to dive into that in a bit. But a couple other things I want to let you guys know about is that it can only be accessed on your local computer, right? So there's a tutorial that I'm going to be linking down in the description below. It's not that complicated, but you're going to have to download a couple of things to actually run the computer use feature on your computer. Okay, so be very, very cautious about that when you're downloading it. This tutorial is really good from this guy named Matt Wolf, so definitely a trustworthy guy there. Okay, so let's talk about the current state of AI. All right, so the current state of AI for developers or people that are trying to, utilize AI to make money is that there's an AI gap. Okay, so basically this AI gap here, what that means is there's technology that's advancing at the cutting edge. Okay, so the cutting edge would be like the OpenAIs of the world, the Claudes of the world, the Metas of the world. So the big billion-dollar companies that are putting hundreds of thousands or millions of GPUs into a room and basically using that to run these crazy models. Okay, so we're not competing with them. We don't want to worry about them, and whatever they come out with, we can't compete with. All right. Then on the other side of things are these micro applications, these micro SaaS. Oh, send me your resume and I'll upload it to 1,000 different people, or send me this audio clip and we'll convert it into a music clip, whatever, right? But the reason why these things are always taking off is because there's this AI gap. And that's because when these new models get released, there's new opportunities for creators and entrepreneurs to create applications. Okay, so an example of that is a company that I'm starting called Autodub AI. Right, and Autodub AI is basically it's an instant dubbing of any voice in any language on any video. Okay, so here's a quick example of that.
But anyways, man, I'll keep working on my broken backpack looking jumper because you're like my daddy LeBron likes to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
All of that was done doing no code tools. Basically, all I was doing was realizing that this set of tools that I can combine together creates a competitive advantage because these tools that are out are so new that the consumer class has not caught up to it. So the things that the consumer class are absorbing and using on a day in, day out basis could be something that's created by you and I because of this AI gap. Because every single time a massive model gets released, there's going to be this whole new range of possibilities that you can use that model for your own applications to make literally millions of dollars. And so Autodub is just one example of many projects that we're working on, but now we're going to actually dive into this a little bit more on why this specific API is powerful for even something like my project called Autodub. Okay, so let's keep going. To get any further, we need to talk about what APIs are, and then I'll move my camera so you guys can see what this breaking the fourth wall means, okay? So APIs are basically application programming interfaces, okay? So it's basically like a waiter at a restaurant, and you just, as a waiter, take your orders and bring them to the kitchen, and the API acts as a messenger between these two softwares. So they're basically like the messenger between the person at the table and the kitchen that's actually making the food, okay? And that food that's being made could be any type of, like, they could be making anything. This connection here can go from waiter to steak, which would be audio. Then it would be a waiter to a dessert, which is like video. And then it could be like a waiter to like some drinks, which is like, I don't know, images, right? And so all of these APIs are what the big dogs are creating, right? So the OpenAIs, the Llamas, the Googles, like they're creating these powerful APIs for developers to use. Okay, so the other crazy thing that's actually not on this PowerPoint, and the reason why this is so obvious to me and why it's so powerful, is that Claude as a company, like the company that came out with this API, like 80% of their revenue is coming from API requests, meaning their main source of revenue is coming from developers using their product, right? So they're not even trying to go viral for consumers, they're trying to go viral for developers. So the more tools that you can get caught up with, specifically with Claude, the better chance you have. Now that you guys have an idea of what APIs are, let's talk about why the computer use breaks the fourth wall for APIs, okay? So imagine this connection that's happening with the waiter and the kitchen and the customer, right? That is a computer that is just executing a script, right? But if there is a situation where there is no API available for a cutting edge technology, this computer use function will be able to fill that gap, or in this sense, break the fourth wall. So let me break it down in simple English. If you have an idea for a startup and there isn't an available API for you to use to complete your startup, you can then use the computer use feature to act like a human and get the job done. So I'm going to give you guys a real life example. With AutoDub, right? One of the API features is that we grab the video and the audio and we link them together so that the character's mouth is synced up, okay? And the company that we're using for this is called Sync Labs. Now, Sync Labs is going through an update, meaning they're transferring all of their users from their V1 platform to their V2 platform. And so their API currently is down. Okay, so I can't make this call with the waiter and the kitchen, which in this case, as the waiter, I'm calling for my video to be auto-dubbed in the new script that I wanted. Okay, so that's what I'm asking the kitchen to do. But right now the kitchen is saying, I can't do that, right? You can do it only if you own the kitchen. And so the owners of this platform, Sync, they only let you do it if you're on the platform itself, right? So this product is still functional. I'm going to show you what I mean. Look at this video here.
I never thought I'd have so many people. I look like Donkey from Shrek, because I was actually trying to look like Shrek from Shrek.
All right, so anyways, that's the auto dub that we created, right? But it's happening locally on their website. And so I can't sell this product as a software yet because this API I'm not able to grab this API and put it in my app. But with computer use, I can just tell it to do exactly this. I can say, hey, computer, like, here's these files, grab these files and upload it to Sync Labs. And then once you get that final product, download it and then give it back to the customer. So that's kind of becoming that API that I was talking about. But since computer use can do this for literally any application ever, you can see where this is headed. Literally, basically make anything an API. Just bring things back to reality just a little bit in terms of where we're at in the current day and why, again, I'm very excited for you because this is the moment that you want to learn this shit, right? Because this is when people are going to struggle with it. This is when it's not that easy. It's not that sexy. And so once this thing goes mainstream, which I guarantee it will, you're going to be able to just launch applications like that. And then, whether you're an agency, whether you're a SaaS, like I'm going to be teaching how you can use these APIs or this API in specific in my community, Kev's No Code Academy. So if you're interested in everything I'm talking about, definitely jump in that community because we're going to be having calls, 3-4 times a week talking about shit like this. But now let's talk about the current setbacks, right? So every API and every basically AI company, they have a pricing structure, right? And so the cost per 1 million tokens here is something like $15 per 1 million tokens. And every single time you ask it to deploy a task, it uses a fuckload of tokens because its process is still not that evolved, right? So it's still doing the screenshot, clicking your screen, then taking another screenshot, clicking your screen. And if it gets it wrong, then you hit this infinite loop. Okay, and if you hit this infinite loop, you're gonna run out of tokens in a sec. All right, guys, so I showed you my example, but we're just gonna hop over to Twitter and I'm gonna show you some examples that some people on Twitter are using this for, just so you guys can get a better understanding of where this thing is going.
Phone, my real iPhone, mirroring to my Mac display. We're going to see if I can give it this query, which is I want you to check out who's in the wild card of the AFC right now. So I'm hoping it's going to open up my sports app and actually click around and find this information. So let's actually go ahead.
Okay, so this is really cool. This guy's connected his iPhone to his computer, and then he's actually getting the computer use to use his iPhone as well. So that's pretty cool. He's going to try and extract, sports data. So let's see if it actually does that. Here you see it's going on the website.
Okay, so it said open the playoff tab, so hopefully it can go into, okay, so we just move the mouse over to it. Click playoffs, the Mac, and then having, move the mouse correctly. It's crazy.
So this guy ordered an Uber. What else we got? This guy solved CAPTCHAs. This guy created a simulator and put it on GitHub, train a simple classifier. This guy played a game called Doom, which is pretty cool. This one can rickroll you, which is pretty joke, so it can like meme you. This guy, saying allegedly we've reached AGI because of that. But you guys get the point, right? So like right now it's still very early with computer use, which is why I don't think there's many creators that can see into the future of what's happening. And here we are breaking this fully down. And it was just, it's an honor to actually like talk about what's happening in the future of AI. And, if you guys enjoyed this video, just give it a like and see you on the next one.